Hi guys, and welcome back to the FPL Duo. We're back again for a team selection video for game week 9. So yeah, sorry we're slightly late, but we thought we'd get this stream out for you. As promised, we said we're going to go live on Thursday, and yeah, this is the team selection stream. But before we do start, we're also going to talk about how we performed in game week 8 and talk about our scores very quickly. But before we do start, how are you doing, Jordan? Are you well? Everything good?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. It's nice to be back streaming. Hello, everybody that's in the chat, and I hope you're all having a nice Thursday evening, morning, or night, wherever you're watching this from.
Okay, so yeah, we're gonna get into our game week 8 teams actually very quickly and go through how we performed with our teams. So I'm gonna bring up our game week 8 teams at the moment. So let me put it on screen right now. So here is my team from game week 8. As you know, I didn't have a very good week. It was pretty, it wasn't a great week, as you can see. I only got 51 points, obviously plus the -4, so 47. So yeah, all in all, it wasn't a great week for me. But as you can see by the team, so let me go quickly. I had Ramsdale in goal, 6 points. Perisic, got the blank. Cancelo did get the 9 points for me, did save me there. All in all, I did go Haaland as well. Captain got me 12 points, which I was quite happy about. Jesus also 6 points, getting the goal, I believe, and then Kulusevski also, got me the assist. But pretty much blanks all round. I know Trippier also got the assist, so that was how my game week 8 team did do. I also did get quite a big red arrow to my rank now is 918k, so just inside the top 1 million. I didn't wildcard, as you guys know. I was contemplating playing a game week 8 wildcard, but I didn't do that. I decided to just go with what I had and wildcard in game week 9. So that wasn't my team for the last week. It feels like ages now, doesn't it, since we had football? I don't know about you. It feels like a very long time since this game week actually happened now. So I'm excited to be back now, and very happy the football is back, so we can get back into it. Because I know the weekends are a bit boring when there's no football on. So yeah, that's how I did in game week 8, guys. Not a great week at all, but I am playing my wild card in game week 9, as you guys know, and we will come on to that in a sec and see what I've played. But yeah, 47 points for me, obviously because of the -4. But yeah, let's move on to your team now, Jordan, and just quickly run us through how you did. And yeah.
Okay, so obviously, from what you guys know, I did wildcard in game week 8, and this is my wildcard team that I used, which it went pretty well. I mean, 62 points overall. So I'll just talk through briefly who got what. So my Brentford goalkeeper, Raya, he got 2 points. My back three, Trippier got 5 points. Cancelo got 9. Perisic got 2 points. Then move on to the midfield. Andreas came with 1 point. Martinelli with 3 points. Maddison with a bit more fortune with 7. And Kulusevski with 5 points. And finally, the forward line, Mitrovic, which was a shocking blank to many people, got 2 points. Haaland with 6 points. And my captaincy option, who was Harry Kane, with the whopping 20-point return for me, which was overall the wildcard went pretty well. 62 points, you can't argue with that. And I did get a nice green arrow from that too. And my current rank is 768k. On the team bench, there is not much to really talk about. Zaha and Fofana were postponed matches, and Ward conceded so many goals, he got 0 points, and Nico Williams has got the 1 point.
Okay, so yeah, so it was a decent week for you. Obviously, you played the wild card, and then 62 points, very respectable score. You also got a green arrow, I guess, so can't really complain too much there. And obviously, it was nice that you went Kane captain because he did outscore Haaland, so I bet that felt good as well. But yeah, obviously that's game week 8. We thought we'd quickly tell you guys what happened in game week 8. So now let's move on to game week 9 and how we're going to line up for game week 9. So interesting to talk about game week 9 actually, because obviously that is now approaching us, deadline on Saturday as well. So as you guys can see on the screen, this is the wildcard team that I've decided to play. So yeah, wildcard is active, guys. Game week 9. And this is what I've picked. Let me go through with what I've done and why I've gone with these players basically. So as you can see in goal, I've gone with Danny Ward. Now I could still change Danny Ward. I had a slight plan to actually take him to Everson. So there's rumors going around that Everson could actually start for Leicester on the weekend instead of Ward because how poor Ward's been. So if I do hear that definitely that Everson's going to play, I would actually be tempted to bring Everson in and start him if I knew he becomes the number 1 goalie at Leicester because I'll save that 0.1 million. So at the moment, Ward or Everson is definitely going to be in my team, and I've got Guaita on the bench, who we'll come on to in a sec. And then moving on to the back four, I've gone with quite big at the back. I've gone Trippier against Fulham. I've gone James, who has Palace, and Cancelo, who has Man United, and also Trent, who has a game against Brighton at home. So the reason I've chose to go quite heavy at the back is because I like Trent this week against Brighton as a differential because I know game week 8 wildcarders don't have Trent. So I like the fact that he's a bit different for me in that scenario where I'm hoping that he can get me some points. And I think Brighton's a good fixture for Trent, and I'm quite happy that he's not very highly owned. So I'm hoping he gets a clean sheet, maybe a goal or an assist or something like that, and I'll be very, very happy if he can return in that game. Cancelo, I've gone with him. I know there was a debate whether to include Cancelo or not, but for me, it's no debate. I want Cancelo in my team, and especially after game week 13, I know he's got really good fixtures. So yeah, Cancelo is definitely in. James as well, good fixtures long term as well till game week 16. So that's why I've decided to include James. I think Chelsea's fixtures on paper look quite nice, and I'm hoping with Potter in charge now that they can get back to winning ways and hopefully keeping more clean sheets. And then Trippier, as you know, he's quite highly owned now as well by most managers. Even on the game week 8 wildcard, he's very popular. I thought I'd go Trippier as well because he's at that cheaper price, 5.2 million he's now, and also because he's quite attacking. Hopefully he can get me some attacking returns over the few weeks. I don't expect too many clean sheets from Trippier, but I'm hoping he can get me a couple in the next few weeks. So yeah, that's the back line I've gone with. I know a lot of people are playing the 3 at the back. But I've just decided to literally go, 4 at the back, and yeah, hopefully it does pay off. But that is the team in defense. Also, moving on to the midfield, I have gone Zaha, Maddison, and Salah as my midfield 3. Now I've included Salah in my draft because I think Brighton is still a great fixture for Salah, regardless of his form. I know people aren't very keen on Salah at the moment, whether to include him or not. But for me, I like the fact that, as I mentioned with Trent, Salah is a bit of a differential because most game week 8 wildcarders don't actually have him. So I'm happy that he's in my team, and I'm hoping he gets something against Brighton, and I can definitely see him getting something in that fixture against Brighton at home. So hopefully that does pay off. But yeah, Salah's definitely in my team. I haven't considered not having him, so he's one that I'm not gonna consider moving out. So yeah, he's in. We will talk about captain picks in a sec as well, but for me, he's in. And also, as you can see, I've all teamed him up with Maddison and Zaha in midfield. Maddison's for me is quite obvious. His fixtures look great longer term. He's got a great fixture this week against Nottingham Forest. Arguably, he could be captain worthy this week. I've seen some few people want to captain Maddison this week, but I like Maddison's fixture. I like Leicester's fixtures, longer term until game week 16. So I think Maddison's one that it's going to be quite popular in most of our teams. So yeah, but for me, I did want a Leicester player just because of Leicester's fixtures. I know they haven't really performed well this season, but I'm hoping now the fixtures are turning, Leicester start performing better, and maybe if Rodgers does lose his job, that might put an uptick in Leicester's form. So that's what I'm hoping, and I hope Maddison can get me some points, and I think he's still quite low owned, so it's not a bad pick to have. Zaha's in because of fixtures as well. I think I know Zaha doesn't have a good fixture this week because obviously he plays Chelsea at home, but after Chelsea, if I just bring up his fixtures, he's got a very kind fixture run. So after Chelsea, he's got Leeds, Leicester, Wolves, Everton, and Southampton. And then he finishes off with West Ham and Nottingham Forest until game week 16. So you could technically hold Zaha until the World Cup, till we break up for the World Cup. So I think Zaha is going to be a good pick. Not as confident on him this week, but he's going to start in my team, and I'm quite happy how the team's shaping up for the rest of the game weeks until the World Cup. So Zaha's in. I think good fixture. He's been playing well this season as well. Scored quite a few goals, so I think he's going to be a good pick. And then moving on to complete the forward line, I've got Mitrovic is in there. I think Mitrovic, same with Zaha, kind of like he's got great fixtures until at least game week 16. So I think Mitrovic, for me, it was also a no-brainer around that price bracket. There's not as many strikers, that can fill that void that Mitrovic does at 6.9 million. So Newcastle next, I think that's a decent fixture. I do think he can get a goal in that one. After that, he's got West Ham, Bournemouth, Villa, Leeds, Everton. So fixture run looks pretty good for Mitrovic, and I'm hoping that he can get me some returns. But yeah, he's in my team definitely, and he's not coming out. The other guy, as you can see on my team as well, Haaland, who is my captain as of now. I don't really need to talk too much about Haaland. I think he's in everyone's team. You can't really go without Haaland at this point. So he's in. Got Man United as well on the weekend, and I do think he's still a good captain option for that game, even though Man United have slightly improved. I wouldn't be surprised if Haaland did get a goal or two against United, regardless. And then moving on to the final player in my wildcard team that may raise a few eyebrows is Solanke. Now, I've seen on Twitter a lot of people are actually against Solanke. I mean, it's quite a big debate. People are saying, what's the point getting Solanke in? He's just a dud. He's not going to get you any goals, etc., etc. But I mean, the reason I've gone with Solanke is purely because his fixture run is good until 16 on paper. I know Bournemouth are one of the worst teams in the league, but at 5.7 million, I do look at him as an enabler. So for me, Dominic Solanke allows me to have Trent, Cancelo, James, and Trippier. And that's a sacrifice I've took to include those premium defenders in. So that's why I've gone Solanke, just because he's a budget enabler for me. Not because I don't think Solanke will score every week, don't get me wrong. If he scores at least, 2-3 goals in the next, 8 game weeks, I'll probably take that if he offered me that. And if he plays 90 minutes, he's on penalties. And at that price bracket, 5.7 million, there's not really much else. I mean, there's Daka at Leicester, but the problem with Daka is he's a bit of a rotation risk with Vardy, so I wouldn't be so sure on Daka starting many games. And I know Solanke is probably a worse pick on paper, but he does play 90 minutes and penalties, and I see him as an enabler that allows me to have that defense, which is quite expensive. So that's why I've gone Solanke. Let me know what your thoughts are, guys, in the comments below. Do you think Solanke is just a dud, or do you think you can see why I've gone with him, or what's your opinions? Because he has split quite a lot of opinions in the FPL community, so I'll be interested to know what your thoughts are on him. And then to complete the team, I've gone Guaita in goal, on the bench as my sub goalie, but he will be playing for me after this game week. So obviously tough fixture this week against Chelsea, but after game week 10, Palace's fixture run looks good. So Guaita's on the bench. I've got Justin, I've got Andreas and Bailey. I've included Bailey, similar to Solanke. He's a cheap enabler. He's been a bit of a troll as well, but I just think at that price, 4.7 million, Villa have decent fixtures as well on paper. But he's just in there to fill a cheap spot for me because of the budget reasons. And that's why Bailey's in my team. And Andreas obviously is the best 4.5 million midfielder in the game. And Justin is in purely because at 4.3, I thought, Leicester do have good fixtures, and I'm hoping he can get me some attacking returns when he starts. And he's not going to play most weeks for me. Maybe when game week 12, when Man City and Arsenal blank, I'll probably play Justin in those weeks. But that could easily change to Guehi as well at Palace. I could just bring him in instead. But then I also have Guaita, so maybe it's better to have a bit of more of a diversification and have a Leicester defender as well on the bench instead of having double Palace defenders. So that is the team, guys. Also, sorry about the graphic on the bank. I do only have 0.3 million in the bank after this team. So just didn't want to I just want to make that clear. I do, after this team, I believe I only have 0.3 in the bank, 0.4 if I do Ward to Everson, and that is my wildcard draft. So let me know what your thoughts are, guys. I know I did make a video on the wildcard team, and nothing's really changed since. I think I've kept the exact same players, and the only thing that will change probably is Ward to Everson before the deadline. But you'll have to wait and see what I do on Saturday on the deadline stream, because I will be locking in my final team. So do tune in for that one. It should be a good one on Saturday. But yeah, that is my team. Hopefully, I didn't ramble on too long, but I thought I'd speak about why I've chose these players and why I think they're good to go ahead for on a Game Week 9 wildcard. So yeah, that is the team. So let's see any questions actually, because I missed a lot of the chat. Fatality says, evening guys, welcome back. Game Week 8, 58 points, no chips played, and he's topping the league. Well done. Zaha playing. Sorry, yeah, Zaha is playing. I think that was a little error on the graphic, but yeah, Zaha will be playing. Salah captain, interesting. We are going to talk about captain when we come onto your team, Jordan, because you might have a decision to make. Is Madison worth the -4? I think it depends who you're bringing him in for. Let us know who you're bringing him in for, and then we will try our best to answer that. Hossam says my team is the same as Huss, but with Leno with Leno instead of Leno. I think you mean there Martinelli instead of Zaha, and Tony instead of Solanke. Yeah, Tony's a good pick. I do like Tony. He's quite a bit more expensive. A lot of Solanke hate in the chat. Yeah, Solanke, Dennis. Someone says he's a Dennis and Vegas 2.0. Ouch. I mean, I had Dennis and Vegas actually, so I know how that feels. But Hossam says Solanke is a promising fixtures-based player. Yeah, and that's what I'm really betting on, fixtures, and hoping that he can get something. I don't expect much from him, if I'm honest. If he gets me 1 or 2 goals in the next 5-6 games, I'll take that all day long. But yeah, that's my team out the way. My wild card is active, as you know, as by the title as well. And yeah, let's bring up your team, Jordan. And I know you made an early transfer that you did tweet out, I believe. So
I still have yet to tweet out, but I will do it after this stream because I was meant to do it.
All right, let's bring up your team.
Yeah.
So talk us through the early transfer you've made. So obviously from your game week 8 team.
Oh yes. So for my Game Week 8 team, in my starting 3 up front, it did consist of Mitrovic, Haaland, and Harry Kane. But because I wanted to beat the price rise of Ivan Toney, because he rose to 7.3 mil, I did do a early transfer, which was taking out Harry Kane for Ivan Toney at the price that he was at 7.2 mil, just to save on that 0.1. And a bit risky, but I wanted to beat the price rise of Toney because I knew he was going to rise soon, just from the amount of transfers he's had this week so far. He's been a very popular pick. But yeah, that just explains my early free transfer that I made. So Harry Kane out and Ivan Toney in.
Okay, so that's for a free transfer as well, right?
Yeah, that's for a free transfer.
Yeah, because I see on the bank as well. That leaves you a lot of money to play with. Just talk us through the rest of your team and how you're lining up, and then we'll talk about your second transfer if you are taking a hit or not. Like, what's your 11?
Okay, so obviously I got Ray in goal. He's got Bournemouth away, which is a much better fixture than what he had last week, which was Arsenal. We got the back 3 line: Trippier, Cancelo, and Perisic. It's a bit risky playing Perisic, especially with Arsenal away. Not too confident about that, but I can't do much about that. I'm going to have to roll with that. And in case Perisic doesn't play, which I'm hoping he doesn't, I do have bench options like Andreas to come on for him. In the midfield, I have 4 players. So we've got Zaha, who's got Chelsea. Martinelli, I've still got him. I did want to keep an Arsenal player in my team, especially Martinelli, still over 40% ownership. I'm not thinking of getting rid of him yet. I might just hold on to him despite his fixture swing. Then we got Maddison. He's got Nottingham Forest at home, a very good fixture. Maybe some people will look to captain him as a little risk and a big differential. And finally, Kulusevski, who does have a little flag next to his avatar, but we'll talk about that in a minute. And obviously, the predicted front three is Mitrovic, Haaland, and Tony, which is probably going to be a really popular front three for many fantasy owners. So, talking about Kulusevski, so Huss told me before this stream happened, obviously, because I haven't seen my phone all day today as I've been working. But Kulusevski did pick up an injury in the international break, so he now becomes a doubt on Saturday when Tottenham play Arsenal away. So, because of this, let me just say before this ever happened, I did have a plan to take a -4. As you can see, I have 5.4 in the bank remaining, so there's a lot I can really do with the money. But I wasn't really too sure if this plan was right to do or not. But because of Kulusevski now is injured, this has enabled the plan to happen. Let's say it's given the go-ahead, like the sign. So I'll talk about my plan, because obviously I have 0 free transfers, so this will require a -4, which I'm going to do. So my plan is to take out obviously Kulusevski, because I do believe he is not going to feature on Saturday's game. And replacing Kulusevski will be Mo Salah. So this does leave me still some money in the bank with 0.6 million, although this is a -4 hit, because obviously I used my free transfer from Kane to Tony, so I already used my 1 free transfer I had left in this game week. So this will be a -4 bringing in Salah. And you will notice as well, he is also my captain for game week 9 too, as I thought if I'm taking a -4 for Salah, then I have to captain him for it, because I originally had the captaincy on Haaland, but because this plan, the situation has changed ever since Kulusevski got injured, it's now forced my hand into taking a -4 and bringing in Salah, which I wanted to wait to do until Liverpool's fixtures became more easier in game week 12. But because of this situation, I now brought in Salah, and he will be probably my captaincy pick. He does have Brighton at home, and we haven't seen Liverpool play in quite a while, so it'll be very interesting to see what Salah does versus Haaland. But that is my transfer plans so far. I won't be potentially making any more. Obviously, you'll see me do the live transfer in the deadline stream from Kulusevski to Salah, but this is what I'm intending to do anyway, just because of Kulusevski now not playing in Saturday's game against Arsenal. This is pretty much giving me the opportunity to bring Salah in sooner than later now.
Okay. Now, I mean, it's interesting because you were going to bring Salah in, but then now, then I think we spoke yesterday and you were like, I'm going to get away with Salah probably maybe game week 12, I'll bring him in. But now that injuries happened to Kulusevski, now it gives you easier pathway to bring Salah in. Interesting to see that you've gone captain Salah, because obviously I've got Salah as well. I actually am tempted to go Salah as a captain because I think he's going to be a bit of a differential. But Haaland is there as well. We know what Haaland can do. But I like the pick. Obviously, Salah in and captaining him as well. It's a bit bold, but I definitely think it could pay off. Liverpool haven't played in a while as well, so I think Liverpool haven't played a game since the Everton game, isn't it, in game week 7? So I think that will be 4 weeks the last time Liverpool played a Premier League game. So it feels like a long while away, and Salah's had a bit of a rest. So maybe it could be a good move. Do let us know what your thoughts are, guys, regarding captaincy as well, because Jordan, you're on Salah. I was actually on Salah as well until literally yesterday, I believe. And I think I changed my mind to go Haaland because I don't know what it is about Haaland, but he does scare me. Well, if I don't have the captaincy on Haaland, I just feel like if he gets a goal, then I could just see him scoring against Man United. But obviously, we'll come on to that as well. But yeah, for me at the moment it's Haaland. But interesting to see you gone Salah. I still could go Salah, by the way. So have you decided, or are you definitely going Salah, or would you move it to Haaland, or are you pretty sure?
I think I'm pretty sure with Salah because I am taking a -4 for bringing Salah in as well. So it'd be kind of a bit of ignorance if I went against Salah, if even though I've taken a -4 for him and going Haaland captain,
Mhm.
when arguably Salah has the better fixture than Haaland because the
Yeah,
derby match, Man United and Man City, is always supposedly a low scoring game, which I imagine that will be because we have seen Man United improve in their defence with 4 clean sheets behind them. So, I mean, interested to know what Haaland can do in that game if he can do anything.
yeah. Fair enough. I mean, I do. I just have a feeling that Haaland's going to score. I don't know why. I think it's because when Haaland signed for Man City, I think he done like a on his unveiling. They asked him who's the one team you want to play against the most, and he said Man United. So we're hoping if he keeps true to his word, and because we know the links he has, his dad as well playing for City as well, and against Man United that was a big game. What happened with the Keane and etc. But yeah, we will see, guys. Obviously, Saturday is the deadline, so do join us for that one, or at 10 a.m. isn't it, Jordan, on Saturday?
Yeah, it's
So
10 a.m.
So you'll have to tune in for that to see who we actually do captain in the end. But I'm on Haaland, Jordan's on Salah. So yeah. Got a few more comments I want to read out as well. Fatality says Salah's captain as well this week for him. He thinks Salah's going to get a hat trick as well. Hossam says, nice team, Jordan. Better to take a hit to get Salah instead of Kulu. Kulu is a doubt. Yeah, so you're pretty certain. Obviously, I think it's a no-brainer. You got to take Kulusevski out just because he's not got a game. You don't know when he's going to be back either, to be fair.
I wouldn't like to bench Kulusevski and put Andreas on. That just seems silly because it's already a hard game week as it is for the midfield. I mean, Zaha has Chelsea, Martinelli has Tottenham, and then Andreas Newcastle. You could argue say that's a tough fixture too.
Yeah, and I also see you've got Perisic in there. Are you worried? Or maybe not for this game. He'll probably play, whether he keeps a clean sheet or not. We'll have to see. But going forward as well.
No, Perisic is a temporary player there. Obviously, I can't do anything with him this week because I wanted to get rid of the Spurs assets like Harry Kane and now Kulusevski. But Perisic is next game week's plan. But for this game week, I might as well play him and see what happens with him. Whether he starts or not, it doesn't matter because I got bench options in that case.
I mean, I do think Perisic will start because it's Arsenal. I would be surprised if he doesn't. It's just obviously getting a clean sheet against Arsenal will be a surprise if they can pull it off.
Yeah.
But yeah, the rest of the team looks pretty fine. I mean, the front three look good. Madison's going to be quite popular as well for Gameweek 9 wildcarders. Martinelli is interesting because obviously I've gone without Martinelli, which might punish me. Zaha, you've got him as well early. And then Trippier, Cancelo is quite popular as well. So yeah, the team looks pretty fine, I'd say. Hossam says Haaland will be most captain this week, but Salah is better captaincy for me. Also scored twice with Egypt and willing to get him form back in the FPL. Yeah, I don't see why, no reason. If you just look at it on paper, then you'll say Salah against Brighton at Anfield probably is a better fixture. It's just something scary going against Haaland at this moment in time. His last 2 home games, he got hat tricks, and now he's got Man United. Can he get a third hat trick in a row at home?
Hopefully not.
Obviously, yeah. Well, that's going to be a good game, though. Definitely looking forward to that one. But yeah. When you plan to wildcard mine in game 12?
I've already played my wildcard Sam in Gameweek 8, so I've already used mine.
Yep. There you go. So yeah, you use yours in 8. I'm using mine in Gameweek 9. I think Gameweek 12 is also a good time to play it if you can hold on to it for that long. You know, some people needed to play it. I guess even me, I had to play it Gameweek 9 because my team was literally on the cusp of just getting destroyed, so I needed to play it. Game wildcard 13 thoughts. Yeah, I think if you are wildcard in Gameweek 13, I think that is the next. If you think you're fine for Gameweek 9, I think wildcard 13 is the next best option. My plan would be maybe dead end into Gameweek 13, where you basically take out all the Arsenal players, take out all the City players, and then look to bring them back in on the wild card because they've got good fixes from 13 to 16. For example, you know, a lot of us won't have Saliba. A lot of us won't even have Jesus. So you can bring Jesus and Saliba back into your team on the wildcard 13 when Arsenal fixes turn good again. So and load up on Man City as well. Maybe have triple Man City. So that's what I'd be doing. Looking to get rid of them ahead of the 12 blank, and then getting Arsenal and Man City majority of their players back in for the game week 13. So that will be just early thoughts. But obviously we will do a wildcard video as well for game week 13 closer to the time. But initially, I think it looks like dead ending into that by removing your City and Arsenal assets one by one, and then getting them back. But yeah, did I miss any comments? I'm just seeing. Is Zaha worth a captain, Jordan, at Wolves in game week 12? I mean, it's a bit far away, but I've got to see the other fixtures in 12.
Yeah, I'd have to. Is that when Man City blank? Out of curiosity.
Yeah, that is. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Also, obviously, Salah. I don't know who Liverpool have in 12. Because obviously, I'm just gonna check. Liverpool have West Ham, so I prefer Salah against West Ham at home personally in game week 12.
Yeah, I mean, it's like saying is Maddison worth a captain in Game Week 9 because obviously he has arguably the second best fixture in that game week, and I think some people might turn their heads to look towards a captain like Maddison. So for your sorry, who? Oh yeah, for no, who's
Which
what
one?
was the comment from? Yeah,
It's about Zaha, captaining Zaha, I think it was, wasn't it?
oh yeah. So for you, Manish, if you feel like that's the right captaincy pick for Game Week 12, then go for it if you feel like it. Because it will be a great captaincy pick. Because I don't think many people will go for that. Many people will go for the Salah captaincy pick against West Ham. So it's similar to this Game Week 9. You could go Maddison instead of Salah and Haaland. It's a massive risk, but it could pay off for you. So
Yeah.
I'll say take it at your own risk.
Also in game week 12, obviously Man United play Spurs as well, so maybe you don't want to captain a Spurs player that week. I think Salah will be the highest or most popular captain player probably that week. So yeah, we'll discuss that later on. But yeah, if anyone else got any questions, do drop them in below regarding your teams. Fatali also says that's my idea, wildcard to getting good players from good teams. Yeah, that's what makes sense if I was on a game week 13 wildcard. But yeah, just moving back onto my team. Yeah, that's how I'm lining up, guys. I am wildcarding game week 9. So yeah, the reason I went wildcard 9 as well is because my team is slightly different. If I was to wildcard in game week 8, mainly the Liverpool guys, having 2 Liverpool, even Guaita, for example. But yeah, that is a team. That's hopefully, both our teams out the way. We are going to be back again for next time we stream. Obviously, the deadline stream on Saturday morning. So do join us Saturday at 10 a.m. I think it is deadline for 11, isn't it?
Yep.
So,
another early deadline stream as normal.
Yep, but we're going to be back on Saturday at 10. Should be a good one. But yeah, we are going to wrap the video up now, guys. If anyone's got any more questions, do drop them in below. Also, if you haven't already, guys, please do drop a like on the video if you can. Really appreciate all your support. And also, if you haven't already, please do subscribe to the YouTube channel if you can. And then, yeah, do drop a like, as it always helps us out. But yeah, for now, we are going to probably wrap the video up. And yeah, just want to say thanks everyone for watching the video. And yeah, hopefully we'll be back Saturday again. And do join that one because it's going to be a good one for the deadline stream. A lot of us are going to be making some live transfers, like Jordan, for example. Is he going to bring Salah in? We'll wait and see. But yeah, that's it from us. Anything else you want to add, Jordan?
Just thank you everyone for interacting in the chat and for watching the stream.
Yep, as always, guys, that's it from us, and we'll see you Saturday. Thank you, and have a good one. Peace out.
Yep. See you Saturday morning, guys. Take care.